For sure, these guys know how to make buzz out of thin air. It was Department of Government Efficiency, DOGE, now Genius, guiding and establishing national innovation for US Stablecoins Act. What can I say at this point? Genius Act. Never expected this time of outcome in crypto space. 10 years of devastating acts on behalf of human nature of greed, abuse, and taking advantage. Now, this trump card is at regulators' hand. Mass adoption works out as mass abortion for crypto itself. People need authority, trust, stability, enforce, and responsibility means control. This trump card perfectly used in genius way. Now masses will really act. No decentralization, no anonymity, not your money. Enjoy new kind of digital money. Stable, controlled, authorized. Enough of my thoughts. Let's see if the community is as skeptical as me or there is a treasure escaping my vision.
Hi, Sergey. Of course, I'm following the news, and I've seen the Genius Act, and here's what I think about it. First of all, it's going to open a lot of possibilities for companies such as Amazon, let's say. Imagine how much fees Amazon is paying to Visa and MasterCard to process billions of volumes every day they have. So imagine if they launch their own stablecoin pegged to US dollar, they will save a lot of money on that. But also, we should take into account that this law is going to annihilate, is going to remove any kind of anonymity we have, because they're going to collect more and more data about the holders of stablecoins. That's what I thought. Thank you.
Yes, Sergey, of course. The Genius Act isn't just a regulatory bill. It's a signal that the US is finally ready to embrace digital asset at a scale. And, well, personally, as someone who's been in the trenches of crypto education and adoption, I see this as a defining moment, especially for stable coins and the tokenization of real-world asset, which is my personal topic, to be honest. Well, and in the short term, actually, stablecoins will go through a serious cleanup phases. The Genius Act actually requires full one-on-one reserve backing, monthly audits, and also strict KYC and AML compliances. So a few shady or offshore players might exit, but for everyday users, this means safer stablecoins, tighter consumer protection, and also more trust in what you're holding. So looking ahead, actually, it opens the door for traditional institutions and even politically affiliated players like the USD1 to step into the stablecoin arena with legitimacy. So with full compliance built in, something like USD1 could really thrive under this new framework, especially with backing and also optics aligned to the US dollar. And it fits actually the Genius mold almost perfectly. Right? And well, talking about tokenization of real world asset is where I see a massive opportunity. We are already seeing growth on networks like Aptos, and the Genius Act actually gives institutions legal clarity to tokenize treasuries, credits, and also even real estate, you name it. So Genius Act actually means more liquidity, more accessibility, and also new rails for global finance, and not just for big banks, let's say, also for fintech startups and platforms that now have a clear sandbox to play in. So we are going to see everything from fractional real estate to 24/7 tokenized bond emerging from this. By the way, this isn't all sunshine and rainbows and unicorns. The Genius Act does give the government power to freeze or seize stablecoin transfers as well. And that raises the real concern about the privacy and decentralization, something that blockchain and cryptocurrencies stand for. Also, smaller DeFi projects might struggle to comply, so there is a risk of pushing crypto into the hands of big operations and leaving behind open source builders who started this whole thing up. And looking at it from a political point of view, political aspect, let's not ignore the elephant in the room. This bill prohibits Congress and also their families from benefiting from any stablecoin project, but not the US president. So with the Trump family reportedly tied to USD1, that is something that's worth watching. Well, so in the short run, we should see, and I think we will see some turbulences. Platforms will pivot, some tokens might be reclassified even, and compliance cost will rise definitely. So, but in the long run, this is the scaffolding for Crypto 2.0, I might say. A more mature, more regulated, and also more widely adopted system. Stablecoins will power remittances and payments altogether. Also, tokenized assets will reshape how we invest, lend, and also trade. And the US dollar will cement its place in the digital future. But here's the thing, President Trump was really against, and he is really against CBDCs, but now he's, at least his family, is reportedly tied to USD1, and now it's being promoted. And this bill, the Genius Act, is a huge help, is a huge push for that. So to wrap it up, Genius Act might be the first bill to get this far, but it's not going to be the last one. So this is our moment to make sure crypto evolves without losing its own soul.
I think the Genius Act is a great genius move of Donald Trump. Will it save the US dollar? I'm not sure, right? It for surely will buy it more time. It will regulate that US can have more influence on the new digital economy. That's for sure. And it will have the US dollar a kind of advantage, like a programmable edge, into the new world of tokenization, right? Because these stable coins, for example, are used for better liquidity, better cross-border payments, and many more things, and more access for the investors, right? But of course, the US want to have control on this new digital economy and want to have control on Tether or any offshore stable coins, and want to keep being dominant in this field, right? So this can be the only move that they can do, right? The US has to embrace this not only domestically but also internationally. Otherwise, they cannot control it, right? The stablecoin, of course, has a lot of problems because it needs to be fully backed up, needs to be completely transparent, and it cannot be used maybe as shadow banking, which is still being used. But I think the US doesn't have any choice. The only other problem is that it should collaborate globally, and it should let developers from other countries also co-develop and all work together, which is of course a very complicated thing now in this world with all these powerhouses around, like China, like US, like Europe, like everywhere, right? Russia. So it is difficult. Of course, it would be great to have it as a legal payment system. A lot of people are already using stablecoins as payment system, right? But in the real world, is it really a trusted currency? It's still not, even though it should be. But yeah, I mean, there are some problems, right, with compliance, and also a lot of stable coins. Is the treasury really there? Is it really backed one by one? How is the audit done? Or are we gonna play again the same game, right? That, we're gonna get loan on loan, print more. Are they gonna do the same with the stable coin or something like they've been doing with the US dollar, right? But let's see. I mean, interoperable for sure, and yeah, I think that the US has been slowly losing control of all the currency because they have been keep printing and creating more debt and debt.
I think this is for sure a delay of the problems, and it's for sure a really good move by Donald Trump. And I, of course, believe that everything will go digital. But yeah, so yeah, absolutely a good move by him, and that's my opinion. And I think he doesn't really have a choice, right? And it has to be also become more institutional ready. But also, what can also happen with this, a lot of times with these kinds of regulations are put in place, it can also cause a drop of the cryptocurrency. So again, that this could initiate a drop, like it happened in the past when these kinds of regulations were passed, right? But who knows, maybe it also, other people say that it will become now more stable than before, that the drops will be less. So let's say a drop to 70 or 80K, let's say, if we take big Bitcoin, instead of dropping all the way down to 20, 30, 40. But what is really important is that all this stuff should be really carefully implemented, and it's not so 1, 2, 3, let's go. Even though I always like to say that, yalla, let's go. So yeah, for sure, stable coins and digital currencies will be there forever.
Yes, Sergey. So, stablecoins everywhere. That's epic. Payment systems will not charge as much, and so the companies will make more money. People will have more money. That's number one. Number two, trust. Trust. That's crucial. Clowning aside, the main thing that we want in the whole global, economical, transactional system that delivers data on who owns what and what has been sold and bought is that once more and more, not units of society, but not individuals, but wallets that are tagged to people will transact and also have all that data stored within a system that cannot be tampered. We have this base, like that was new oil. Suddenly this point of access and historical record becomes new oil, where AI devs, where IoT integration, supply chain on chains, RWAs, and all that epicness will merge with the system. And can't wait for other governments to integrate that, because I believe personally it will also create kind of like a approach where governments will be investing into each other, because suddenly they have more transparency within themselves. I mean, it's a long shot, but I believe that can stabilize the economy and make sure that less wars happen, as people, they are investing in each other, and so they don't want to destroy their investments. So I think this kind of a approach with Genius Act will down the line make less wars and more unity and more peace. Yeah, and also help with AI alignment, if you think about it, because suddenly you have all this data, and that data with regards to transactions within one framework. So yeah, epic stuff.